you're everything I need. A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? And what if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I need you by my side.
Hello? Hi? Hi? Yes, I started. I'm trying out wireless today. Hi, everyone! Hi!
Gary, what?
Gary? I'm trying the wireless earbuds with the wireless transceiver. It doesn't make my audio quality that great, but at least I can like still somewhat monitor, stream. Kind of. I changed the camera angles as well. So like this is now one of the default camera angles. So there should be less of me fiddling around with things. I also added fan art that I've gotten. So it's just like automatically rotating there from now on. Yes. The most important thinkers. Fart. Turn it down. It's hard to hear myself because of this. So quiet. What is that? What are you doing? Are you talking about taking little poops?
No! What about you?
What about me? What is this?
This is what you're doing. This, I want you.
You don't want me to talk on stream? Yes, kind of free. I'm still covered in wires. Just, they're not tethered to anything. Right? So like I can do this. I go here. And then now you can see me just kind of walking around. And I could just walk around like this. This works, kind of. You want to zoom? You want to zoom? There is your zoom. Are you satisfied? I need to make this like somewhat automated. That's what I forgot to do. I was gonna automate this. I was gonna make it so that like this would be all automated so that like I wouldn't need to like, because right now I just have one button to cycle between the different camera presets. I think what I need to do is make it so that there's a dedicated button for each one. And then that way like the zoom could just be automatically triggered. Tripping on cords? No, the head. Okay, so the earbuds that I have, like most earbuds don't really have really long cords. So like there's only one cord on the floor, and that's the cord for my VR headset. But that just goes like right across the center of my room. And I don't trip over that much, I guess. You failed. Failure! All right, we're back here. Hi, hello. No, those were fails. You failed. Failure. No, fail. See, I tilted my head like this. You missed. Oh, I thought I had my own stream open. Did I? I think I'll have it like down here. And then, what should I have on my main monitor? Hi, Tiffany. Like, I wonder what I should put there. Like, on this screen? Because right now it's just me. Wait, is that me? Yeah, that's just me. I'm doing good. How are you? What? Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, this song's good. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, I know what to put there. Oh, and then just get like a giant there. Perfect. Perfection. Wow. No, you didn't. You failed. Like, if you play the clip back, you'll see that it missed. I mean, whatever you have to tell yourself, I guess. Hi, Autumn. Hello. Has it been a while? I feel like I don't... I feel like I don't get, like, the correct passage of time. You know what I mean? Oh, it has been a while. It's been like a month. Holy smokes. You're right. No, all of them failed. All of them have failed. They all failed. It's kind of like, okay, so I discovered this last stream, how much I just kind of, the only thing that I'm missing are the gloves that I haven't cleaned yet, and they're so stinky. I don't want to wear them, because putting them on my hands makes my hands stinky. I need to clean them. Yeah. Okay, I need to... Okay, so today, after stream, I got to not take off all my stuff right away, because after stream, essentially the first thing I do, I take off everything. I take off all the trackers, all the batteries, the head mounts, all that stuff. I actually have to keep it on today after stream, because I need to film a YouTube video. And then I take it off. Then I have to clean my gloves. Then I have to continue working on commissions. I'm just using Vive trackers right now. So I just have Vive trackers on my hand, hence the karate chop. Can I go like this? Like this? Does that work? That kind of works. Have I made any maps? What do you mean if I made any maps? What do you mean? The Vive trackers worked, right? Like that has been working, right? Okay, good. I'm always worried that whenever I miss it, I'm like, did it happen? I don't know. I need to make it to have like an audio cue. But maps, like in VR chat, is that what you mean? I've only uploaded one map to VR chat, and essentially all I did with it, I just used it to put troll avatars. That's the only thing I've done that. Do I play Apex? No. I don't find it fun to play. Do you know what I mean? It's very boring most of the time. Cause like most of the time it's just like wander, alone, action. Alone, action. Okay, Izzy, see you. Like, for me, Apex seems like one of those games that's just more fun to watch people play. Do you know what I mean? Cause it's just boring. And then like on top of that too, like the huge hacker issue that happened a while ago really put me off of it. Cause like you would play, you get like into the finals, and then you realize that the other person that just eliminated you from the top 5 or top 3 was hacking. And I'm just like, wow. And basically because like the entire time you're like having these action stints, and then you have this like moments of silence of just like trying to figure out where everyone is, trying to get the best gear. And then like you have like moments like that, you're slowly building up to the point. It's kind of like imagine reading the Hunger Games or watching the movie Hunger Games. And at the very end, it's like you try to win, right? And then someone just goes, lol, God mode, haha, you dead. And that's basically what happened. I heard they added a solo mode. I was watching another streamer, and I saw that they're playing alone, so I'm just like, is this a solo mode? Did they add solo mode? And they're like, yeah, they added a solo mode. I've been playing Mass Effect, the new Legendary Edition. I played it yesterday a little bit on stream. I'm thinking about playing it again today. But I don't know. Here's the big problem is, okay, so for me, like when you're watching someone play a game, they should be enjoying the game, right? And like most of the time when I play games that are like very heavy dialogue based, I will skip the dialogue as soon as I finish reading it. If there's subtitles, I finish reading the subtitles, I skip, because like I don't need to hear the rest of it, because I just read it. Do you know what I mean? And like having to sit there and like listen to, so basically kind of like imagine it this way, right? Imagine like I am doing a 100-meter dash, and then everyone finishes the 100-meter dash in 10 minutes. Or something like that. Just say like 10 minutes to have it a nice number. So everyone's just like lumbering and slow. I finish it in 2 minutes. Then basically it's just me sitting at the finish line, just being like, for 8 minutes. And essentially that's what it's like when I'm playing. So like I don't want to. But the problem is that from the viewer side, like your view, when you're watching streamers, like you don't want to just sit there and watch them skip it. Like, I guess it's fine to talk over it, but I don't know. It's just like, I think people just don't like watching people skip dialogue. Because I know like one, given the delay of stream / the stream quality, it's not always easy to read the subtitles. And then 2, not everyone is able to like read with their eyes versus read with the inner voice. So like they read slower. So I'm like, I don't know how to deal with that. Like, right? Because like, I want to skip the dialogue because I've already read it. I don't know. Really, from MMO. But I would guess like a lot of people that play or watch people stream MMOs, like they already know the story. Like I've only played World of Warcraft when it first came out, and I got to level 16, and I immediately got bored and sick of it. And like even I, who That's my only interaction with the Warcraft series besides Hearthstone. Like, I know a decent amount of like history and lore somehow about World of Warcraft. I don't know how. It just happened. Oh, hey, Rush. Yes, yes. I started using a new shader. Essentially, like, this entire world, everything's the same, except I'm using a new shader and I changed the lighting. Ah. Oh, and I added the fan art. See? The fan art. I was originally just gonna put it on the fridge, but I'm just like, how? That's not really. People won't necessarily see it from the fridge, so at least like this way, people can kind of make it out. Poke Sly. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go poke Sly. I'll be right back. I poke Sly. Hello, body? Resurrect? Please? Hello? Ah! What's not connecting? What is this? Okay, my hips are connected. My legs are connected. One hand is not connected. This hand. Why? Okay, give me a sec. Why? Why you do this? Ugh. All right, give me a sec. This happens every time I leave the room. Okay, turn off this tracker. All right. I plug it in. OBS. Okay. OBS just kind of pooped the bucket a little bit. I'm not tracking anymore. Ah! All right. Okay. This happens like every time I leave my space. If I'm not quick enough. Let me just double check. Give me a sec. Settings, tracker assignment. Yeah, it's just my right hand that's not tracking. All right, give me a sec. I'll come back. Give me a second. I'm still here. I just have to turn some stuff off, turn some stuff back on. Okay. I'm kind of back, kind of. I just need to slowly turn on my trackers and get everything set up again. All right, give me a sec. What do you mean next gen yoga? How is that next gen yoga? Okay, trackers are turning on. What do you mean cursed? It's not cursed. We're fine. You just get a free Zoom, right? Free Zoom? Zoom Zoom. Like the Mazda commercials. All right. And then do this. Calibrate. Boom. We're good. Gotta turn my chair on. Chair. And then now microphone. 3, 2, 1. Great, we're fine. We're back. But yes, that unfortunately happens sometimes when I leave my tracked area and things just decide, you know what, let's act up. Let's act up. I just gotta plug in this again. No. Oh, back. OBS does not like having problems. Am I right? Like, basically what I notice is that every time I have that where when OBS kind of like freezes and then it causes like the rapid refresh on Twitch, it like my viewership usually just like tanks. What do you mean you can barely hear me? It's a dynamic microphone, that's why you can't hear me unless I'm like right up on the mic. What happened? What happened, Ultra Instinct? What do you mean what happened, Ultra Instinct? Yeah. So, the main reason why I decided to get a dynamic mic was mainly because my partner also streams at the exact same time. And that's like the only way we can avoid having our sounds overlap. Oh, yes, yes. Because I didn't move the microphone down with me like this. Like, essentially, this is what I should be doing. Just because that makes it sound better all the time. Yeah. That happens. Wait, what do you mean when I'm not being cheeky? I don't understand what you're talking about. You're evil hero? What are the interviews for? I don't even know you're talking about something. Huh? We'd probably still hear. It depends on how loud Sly's gonna be. Yeah. That just happens. I accept it. I just like, okay, so I'm kind of thinking back to like, I guess before I started speaking on stream. Okay, so for those of you who are in chat who have watched me like before I started speaking on stream, why? I honestly like, that's one of the main reasons why I started speaking, was because like I couldn't watch my own content. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's not something that I would watch. Cause it's just like literally it'd be like me standing there like this. And then like I would be typing and like, that's it. That was like the whole stream. But I'm doing good. Things are good. Oh, the fan art is covered. There we go. Now we can see the fan art. Nice and cold Sunday. It is not nice and cold. It's very humid where we are. We have the air conditioners on. Is it decorative? I've always wanted to have my fan art shown somewhere. And like, I didn't want it to be too obstructive. It's like, so like I could have it so like it would, I was thought about having it on OBS. And you know how sometimes people have like the fan art just like cycling through like a slideshow? I didn't want it to take up that much real estate. Do you know what I mean? It feels like it would take too much out of it. And I was thinking, well, like, how would people do this in real life? Well, they would probably hang it in their room. So like when you're watching them stream, like an IRL stream, you can like see in the background some of the fan art. And I was just like, okay, well, like since I have the advantage of having like a whole space, I could just make it like, I could do whatever I want. Reality is mine to bend. It was something new? How hot is it here? I don't know if it's about the heat. It's more so about the humidity. I don't know. I just know that it feels humid. Like, I don't really need to check the temperature if I know how I feel, which is humid. So we just recently turned on the air conditioners. My room gets the least amount of air conditioning. / my computer also makes the most amount of heat. Do I have pets? Yes, we have a cat and a dog. Whoa! Whoa! Hi, Syncridge. Hello. How was your stream? I saw that you were playing Sea of Thieves. And that you were having a swashbuckling time. Wait. Hold on. So here, give me a sec. Let me get a good song out to celebrate.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down. Below me, bully boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore.
I'm glad you had a good stream.
The captain called all hands and swore he'd take them.
Everyone who doesn't know who Syncridge is, you should check them out. They're a wonderful VTuber. They have really great content. They stream a variety of games. And today they were playing Sea of Thieves, and they're having a really good time. And like when you're watching them, it feels like you can also have a really good time. Check them out. Link will be appearing in chat soon.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. He took that ship in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. Our boats were lost.
Oh yeah, this is the Harris Heller version. Why do people say mod check? Like, what does that mean? Like, are you checking for moderators? Like, is that what that is?
The line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew, and all. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One
What?
day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
It's an emote? Is that like, I have BTTV. What's that other one called again? That's not BTTV? It's a check mark? I don't see it. Like, I see the BTTV emotes, I don't see the other ones. Franker faces? It's used a lot. Oh, yeah, I've never seen it before. Like never. I've never seen it. I honestly, I don't know. I'm still like relatively okay. I say this. Okay, so you know how like you get used to doing something for a long time, and then okay, so you like imagine like you're at your favorite store, right? Like your favorite mall, and then someone's like, "Hey, did you know that they also sell Thai food here?" And you're like, "What? I love Thai food." What do you mean? When did this new place open? It's like, you know, this Thai food place has been here since like the mall was built, right? And I'm like, what? That's me. So like when it comes down to Franker faces and BTTV, I don't really like know how they work other than like their extra emotes. God check? Oh, okay. Hi, Fire Rose. Hello. I have the feeling like if someone had like that God checker thing, like as you're describing, Curse, it should just be like a picture of a face of Todd Howard. Right? Todd Howard.
Gary.
Oh, I have to activate it for my emote. Ah. See, like, how do you get more how do you get more BTTV emotes? Because like right now, I think I'm full, so I don't know how to get more. But then I also haven't done like the simple due diligence of actually checking how to get more. Like, is there like, do you have to pay? You get more if you sub to BTTV. Oh. Oh, okay, okay. Okay. That makes sense. Huh? Okay, Burnty Toast. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. That makes sense. Supporting people financially. That makes sense. I feel okay every time I log into VR chat, because I actually been in I was in VR chat recently, and I feel like I should get VR chat plus, but at the same time I don't want to, because I barely play it anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like I would log in for like a couple minutes. Actually, last time I played a couple days ago. I was actually in for a couple hours, and I wasn't in VR, I was just in desktop. And I was just seeing like, I was just hanging out in public worlds just to see what things are like, the state of VR chat. And like, what I noticed is like, I'm not sure, maybe it's just the time that I log in, but like the Great Pug is like kind of dying. Like I remember it used to be like the hot spot, but I'm guessing now since it doesn't have compatibility with Oculus Quest, it just makes, I guess, sense that the Black Cat's just been taking over. Any thoughts on Chill Out VR? Once they finish it, I would have more thoughts. Like, I remember, like, I don't know. Usually when I play VR chat, I'm like, if I want to see where people are, obviously you just go to the mirror, and then, but like, I don't turn the mirror on. I'm wondering if I should just make a model that just looks different in the mirror than it does like when you actually look at it. I think that'd be fun. But can you make that Quest compatible though? That's the real thing. I don't think you can, because I think you'd have to use just standard shaders for Quest. Whose fault? Well, put it this way. If it wasn't for Oculus Quest, VR chat would be a dying platform. So they made the one, like 100%, it's the right move. But yeah, Chill Out VR. I've never played it. Doesn't seem interesting. There's a lot of like, essentially like a lot of, basically they're just like, yeah, we're gonna be like VR chat, but better. And then like, they're like, oh, but we're a new platform, so we have a lot of growing pains. So just deal with it. It's like, but you're supposed to be the better platform. That's why I never try. To me, it's not worth trying. The only one that I want to try and get like more into is Neos. You can't use custom shaders on Quest. There is a new shader that you can use on Quest. It's just not this. It doesn't have as many features, if that makes sense. There is a VR, there is an alternative to VR chat. It's called Neos VR. Neos VR is still there. Has the most features. Like in Neos VR, you could be like, hey, avatar maker, can you make me an avatar? Okay, do you have time to hop in together? And basically you can just be in the same world and they can literally build the mesh of your model around your body. Hi, Voyeurist. But here's the thing. Now that VR chat unofficially will support, officially support face tracking, like lip tracker, eye tracking. It's going to become more popular. Here's the thing though, the Neos VR is kind of like, imagine like you're used to playing checkers, right? Like that's the only kind of game that you're playing. Neos VR is kind of like the chess to checkers. It's fundamentally the same thing, right? Like you play on the same kind of board. You have pieces that you move around, but chess is just infinitely more complicated. So if you're only going for that same experience, you might have a rough time. There's a big learning curve to Neos VR. There's like, there's so much stuff in it. No, VR chat is having, so there's gonna be a new update to VR chat. They're gonna be adding their own dynamic bone support. So there's gonna be an option that you can enable. So they're gonna have their own dynamic bones. And then what's gonna be really nice is that it's gonna be more efficient than the regular dynamic bones, the one that you have to pay for. This one's gonna be free. And it'll allow interaction between two different players. So for example, like you can like smack someone's face and then like it'll make their hair move, as an example. And then they are going to be releasing kind of like an SDK so that people can add on face tracking and eye tracking, but like they're not going to really like officially, like they're going to be like, hey, this is something that you can do, but like we're not really going to help you with this, but here's the stuff to do it. Here are the ingredients. You can do it yourself. Okay, goodbye. That's basically what VR chat's doing with the facial tracking. Graphics affordable for all budgets. Is it affordable though, Mumbles? I mean, you have to pay for housing, right? Sometimes you'll have to pay for electricity. You have to pay for food. You have to pay for things, Mumbles. IRL's like the worst social platform, right? And then sometimes you'll get the angry call from parents debuff, depending on your age. When it comes down to like I'm so disappointed with the Vive Pro 2. So disappointed. Like there's like, I don't know which stream, but like a month ago I was talking about this because someone was asking what I thought about it. And essentially I said, you know what? It's probably gonna happen. This headset's probably gonna be like, it's probably gonna look very similar to like the Vive Pro, like the Vive or like the Vive Cosmos with the front faceplate for laser tracking. It's gonna have like maybe like the index Head strap, I was wrong. It has the same head strap as it always had before. And I was like, it's gonna have eye tracking. Because to me at the time, it made sense. They've had eye tracking for so long. Right? But it doesn't have eye tracking. And it makes no sense because they're talking about like how the lip tracker is like pushing social, right? How can you have lip tracking without eye tracking? Right? Why would I get a Vive Pro? Why would I get a Vive Pro 2 and it doesn't have eye tracking? Right? Am I standing? No, I'm not standing. Whoa, Anonymous, thanks for gifting us up to Razumi. Thank you. And like the thing is too, right? It's the Vive Pro, right? It's the Vive Pro for enterprise and like commercial use, right? For developers. Oh, Smiley, thanks for the 11 months. Thank you. And like, if you think about it, right? Like HTC's been pushing and talking about foveated rendering. For those of you who don't know what foveated rendering is essentially like right now, okay. So those of you out there, right? Look straight ahead and then hold your hand right in front of you, right? Like this. You have your hand in front of you? Okay, so now while looking ahead, slowly move your hand off to the side like this while looking forward and not looking at your hand. Only look forward. And what you'll notice is that you can still see your hand right about here, but it's blurry, right? It's blurry. However, on current VR headsets right now, if you're looking forward and you see something off to the side like this, the screen is going to be in full focus, meaning that it's taking up more graphics horsepower in order to render that full scene. What foveated rendering does, it tracks your eyes to see what you're looking at and only makes what's in focus what you're looking at, meaning that like your peripheral vision will not be rendered in high detail, saving on graphics horsepower. Doesn't that sound like a pro feature to you? Right? So disappointed. I was so excited for it. And then like I called it 100%. I said, knowing HTC, they're not gonna invent a new controller. It's just gonna be the same Vive ones. And what do you get? The same Vive ones. The 2016 Vive ones that have been updated in 2018 to be compatible with the 2.0 base stations. So essentially we're getting a design that is from 2016 because like there was just a small tweak to make them compatible. They're selling a brand new headset without eye tracking and 5-year-old controllers. On the Deca Gear, here's the thing. The Deca Gear. Here are my exact thoughts on the Deca Gear. Deca Gear is made by a company that has no proven track record in hardware. They're only known for making one like unknown game, and it sounds too good to be true. Meaning, wait until reviews come out. Because the thing with like, they say, oh, we are working with Steam VR. We're working with Valve for the VR. Valve works with everyone. Everyone. Technically, I've worked with Valve. Which Vive is worth buying? Get a Valve Index instead. That's the thing about the Deca gear. Is weight, because we don't know anything about it. And in my eyes, if the Deca gear doesn't have laser tracking, if it's not compatible with the laser tracking from Valve, I don't care. I would say, like, here's the thing too. Facebook has so much VR and AR tech that's super cool, super polished, that they just haven't released. And the only reason they're not releasing it is because they don't want to hurt their financial numbers. So if they were to come out, like Mark the Zuck, the lizard man himself, has said that right now would be a good time to release the Vive Pro. I'm sorry, not the Vive Pro, the Oculus Quest 2 Pro. There is a market for it, but they're ultimately not going to do it because it's going to discourage people from buying the Oculus Quest 2. Right? And like it creates like this disparity because right now they want to focus on just growing the platform. And essentially, here's the thing. They already have Oculus Quest 1 prototypes that has eye tracking and lip tracking. Like on par, or if not better, than what's already out there. And they're just not releasing it. So my thoughts is this. We don't know we know that Valve is working on a new headset. We don't know what they're doing with it. There's a lot of speculation. Ultimately, what we know about it is the same as what we know about Half-Life 3. It's in the works. They have a plan for it. Who knows what's going to come out? Who knows how much it's going to change from its current plan and state? The Deca gear, we don't know anything about the company. We have to wait and see when it comes out. Don't pre-order it because it could be garbage. And unfortunately, with the Quest essentially is like Oculus is what's keeping VR essentially alive right now. And unfortunately, it's Facebook. The people that view you not as a person, but as a way to make money. I would buy the Rococo suit. Like, but it's too much money. It's like $2,600. Okay, even if right now I was gifted an like someone just be like, here is a giant fat, buy the motion capture suit, Rococo suit. I would ship it to Canada. And then I probably wouldn't be able to use it until I'm in Canada, meaning probably not until September. Here's the thing though, like, the only reason VR headsets aren't like selling like hotcakes is because a lot of them require computers. And as you know right now, computer hardware is really hard to find, especially graphics cards. So like, that's why like that's probably the only reason right now like indexes aren't selling out. It's because people just don't have computers to run them. And like, if you look at the Oculus Quest, it's $300 US. They're selling out all the time because they're standalone. Yes, still in South Korea. We are still waiting to hear back a quote. The moving company came and did inspection. They're supposed to contact us back. We're waiting. And then, sorry for my headset keeps hitting my head mount keeps hitting the mic. And then next week, we're going to be buying plane tickets. Oh, the plane tickets are so expensive. It's $1,200. It's not that expensive. It's pretty normal. It's $1,200 for a one-way flight. I have flown first class before, from that route. I have flown first class before. This was before I started streaming, and it's really nice. But considering that my income is not as stable, you know, as having a teaching job, it's not responsible to do that, even though first class is so nice. Essentially, with that first class, you get like this only, okay. So like, I've flown back and forth from Canada to South Korea a lot. I would say maybe like 20 times, maybe more. And then each time, and only one of those times I flew first class. Every other time, economy. And basically this is like the cramped little chair that you're stuck in. And like, sometimes you can't even recline it, or the person in front of you reclines into you. And like, unless you have an aisle seat, like sometimes people are just like completely blocking everything. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like 12 to 14 hours of just sitting there, like in this tiny cramped space. So one time I was like, you know what? I knew that I had to fly. So I saved a bunch of money, and I'm just like, I'm gonna try it. And let me tell you, it was really nice. It was, first class was like, you got your own pod, like your own little pod. You had like a 24-inch like TV screen. You had like this giant desk in front of you. And like when they served you meals, like they served it to you like, I know this sounds like silly, but like you got like a plate, like a porcelain plate, and like a metal knife and fork. And a spoon, and like a porcelain bowl for soup, and they gave you like an actual glass wine glass. And you had just enough room to just like sit there and eat. And like you had this like little side compartment on the side of you too. They can put stuff in. You had a door, like a half door that you can close for privacy. And then your chair fully reclined 180 degrees and would turn into a bed. I've only done that once, and I kind of like jokingly said to Sly, "Hey, we could fly first." And it's like, and then it was like, "Oh, it's $4,000 for one person." Maybe not. Like, don't you remember, like, they released the prototype of a plane, like, to try to maximize the amount of people that they can cram onto the plane? And, like, their solution was to come up with these, like, these standing, what they called standing seats, where, like, you had to, like, kind of, like, crouch like this, and you had, like, basically, like, a little pad that would just, like, you could kind of lean on. I wanted to use a pet travel service, so they would pick up our pets beforehand. And that way our family can pick up the pets from the airport. But Sly wants to take the pets with us. And like, but hasn't worked out like how to do that. So like, we're trying to still figure that out right now. But our pets will come to Canada with us. They will. Because it would not be fair to them to just like suddenly be like, okay, we're leaving the country, bye. There are some foreigners that do that. And I'm just like, it kind of makes me sick. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you adopt like this animal? And then like, it's like, oh, when you decide to leave, that you just like abandon the animal, right? Like some of them don't even take time to rehome them. They just kind of like, if it's a cat, they just throw it outside. I've seen that. Or if it's a dog, they just put it to the pound. I just, I don't. I just don't. It's, to me, that's like the ultimate act of selfishness, right? Ultimate act of selfishness. Leave the dog with a sitter? What do you mean? We're taking the dog with us. Our dog is the biggest, laziest dog ever. He sees a dog out the window, starts coming, he runs up to us and starts whimpering. I don't think he like really fully comprehends the concept of like a window, just like 100%. Cause like, I think like I've seen him, like he'll just sit there and stare, right? And if he sees a dog, he puts his head forward into the glass, and there's like, all right, that glass where like that's approximately his height, it's just covered in his nose prints of him just like doing that. Yes, there is a very reputable service here in Korea. Like I said, I want to use it, but we have to. I have to talk to Sly about it. We have to arrange it. Essentially, it's a pet flying service that's run by a foreigner who's lived in Korea for like X amount of years. I don't know how long, like 20 years or something. And like that's his main business. Like that's what that person does. Oh, hi, Happy. Hello. What do you mean? Passenger? Okay, so right now, if we wanted to take our pets with us on the plane, our dog would have to go below, down below, and our cat would have to be in the cabin. And I personally don't know how well that would work for the cat to be in the cabin for 12 hours, right? 12 hours in the cabin. Here's the thing about our dog. Our dog is just like infinitely quiet. Just like doesn't only growls like in the 2 years that we've had our dog, it's only growled like 5 times, barked twice. Whereas our cat, oh my God, our cat just doesn't stop whining. It's either going to be one of 2 states with our cat on that 12-hour flight. Our cat's just going to be completely like sitting there silent. Just the entire time. Like terrified and silent. Or our cat's going to be like, ow, 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 for the entire 12 hours. We have no idea which one's gonna be. What do you mean, Jarno? Does it? It's because there's no light underneath. There's no underlighting. Sleeping pills for cats? That sounds terrible. Our dog is too big to go. We have a golden retriever, Space Ninja. Yeah, when we talk to our cat, it doesn't change anything. Our cat does that because she wants something. Do you know what I mean? So like, so it's just sit in front of you and go, ow, ow, right? And just wouldn't stop, and then until you pick her up because she wants to be picked up. And then she's like, okay, you picked me up, now I want to be put down. Meow, meow. Then you put her down. She's like, no, I changed my mind. I want to be picked up again. It's just, I don't know what CBD is. Like, I don't know what that is at all. What's CBD? Why did you choose the word moaning? I actually have yet to be on a plane that has crying kids. Like, I haven't been on one that has one yet. I've been on a lot of flights. But the thing is, though, is that most of the time when I'm on the plane, I do sleep. So that could be the thing. It's like, I'm a pretty heavy sleeper. I could sleep through anything. There was one time when I was a child, I was sleeping right by the window was open. There was a giant, like, cement lamppost, and a car crashed into that, tipped it over. Cement post, like, slammed into the ground in the middle of the night, right outside my window. Didn't wake me up. I don't feel comfortable giving my pets any form of medication unless it's like strictly recommended by a vet. And I don't think vets here really prescribe that kind of a thing. And I've heard a lot of problems, like specifically with medication to pets as they're flying, because it can react differently while they're flying. Do you know what I mean? I just don't want to risk anything. I'd rather deal with the social stigma of everyone hating us because our cat's meowing versus having potentially a cat that dies. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, to be honest with you, like, yes, like, people are gonna hate us if our cat's meowing the entire time. But in reality, we're probably never gonna see those people again. So, like, who cares? Right? Right? Who cares? Like, I think, like, that's like one of the things too that I've kind of have been trying to get over is like caring about what other people think, especially in, like, if it's like, if I'm in a new place or a place that I'm never going to be again, like, why do I care? Right? And what do I mean is, like, for example, like, you don't want to go out because, like, you have a pimple on your forehead because, like, people are going to judge you as, like, something as small and minute as that. But at the same time too, like, who cares? No one's going to care. And like, the people that do look at you and, like, laugh or point if that happens, just think, have solace in knowing that that person has nothing better in their life going on, that's what they have to find for entertainment. New neighbor? Probably not. What's the population of Canada again? Isn't it like 35 million, right? $37 million. So it's like a 1 and, but here's the thing is, like, the odds of, like, a new neighbor sitting beside us, like, very slim. 37 million. Okay, Autumn, see you. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, it's grown up. Well, here's the thing, where a lot of people want to move to North America, except for one part of North America basically took a hardline stance on we don't take kindly to immigrants around here. And whereas Canada was just like, hey, immigrants, do you want to come here? It's cold, but like you can come. You're welcome to come. I think like now with COVID, things have become a lot more strict, if that makes sense. Because like people can't really fly unless they have extra money, right? Because like now you essentially the thing is like in addition to having to pay for the flight cost to Canada, you also have to pay for the quarantine hotel, which is like $2,000. So like essentially you have to have enough money to pay for like an additional flight, essentially an additional flight. It's still so silly that the fine to skip the quarantine is still lower in most places than the actual quarantine hotel itself. They need to fix that. But yeah, it's the same in Korea too, right? If you come to South Korea, you have to stay in a quarantine hotel. $2,000 as well. And like, you're not allowed to make any income. So basically, if you're coming to Korea for work, you have to fly here on your own dollar, right? So often that's like $1,000 plus flight, right? You have no income. You're coming for a job, but then you have to spend 2 weeks in quarantine without any pay, without food given to you. Then, once you come out of quarantine, you have to go to the immigration office. And then you have to fill out all the paperwork and wait a week or so if you're lucky to get in right away, because sometimes you have to make an appointment to go to the immigration office, depending on what part of Korea you're going to be moving to. And you could end up having like a month and a half, 2-month process from flying to Korea now because of the new COVID regulations before you can even make a dime. How would it work with pets? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to talk to Sly about. Here's the thing, like, I can work in Korea because I don't need a visa.
X363 for big thighs. Support.
Thanks, Navy. What is this? Thanks, Navy. Because you can't do the paperwork beforehand. That's the thing. You can't do the paperwork beforehand. Because you have to do paperwork beforehand, right? But that's the paperwork to be approved to come to Korea to apply for a visa. Right? You don't get the visa before you come to Korea. You apply for it and then you get approved, in your passport, right? But then that's not actually your visa. So you have the visa, but you don't have the immigration card status, right? So you can't work until you have that card, meaning you have to go to the immigration office and do all that process that I was talking about before. So there is paperwork you have to do beforehand. You can't, get everything ready so that as soon as you land, you can start working. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, at least I can work in Korea, right? I can just stay indefinitely if I wanted to. I don't want to. I wonder if there's like a way. No, there has to be a way. Okay, people who watch Code Miko, does Code Miko still do like the slider, like DI, like make the character things where like you can donate bits to like morph different parts of Miko's body, or does she like not do that anymore? Cause like, I'm just like wondering. Cause like, I think like when I watched Code Miko when they had like a specific screen for that. And I don't think like you could do it at any other time, right? Like you can't just like randomly do it like in the middle of their stream. She did. Ah, not the slider? Okay. Good morning! I kind of want to have, like, the slider, but, like... I think the first thing I'm going to do is work on better Twitch integration. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, right now, the way I know how to do it is basically have Twitch trigger hotkeys or values in an INI file or values in a text file, and then I can get Unity to read from those hotkeys or from those text files, and like it could do things with that way. But I know that there's a way that you can just directly have it integrate. Set up a web. That sounds complicated. Right? Like, people don't want to open up a separate website, right? Like, people just don't. Like, you might want to do it, but you are the outlier. Most people don't want to have to open up something separate. Yeah, I want something that can... Okay, so basically how I'm going to do this is... So June 9th, I'm going to be doing a subathon. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a mechanic. I'm going to make a separate Unity application just for this that I'm gonna run concurrently with my stream, meaning I'm gonna have it open as well. So it's gonna be its own little application. And essentially what it's gonna do is gonna, when someone like donates or subscribes, it'll have a chance of increasing the time or decreasing the time up to a certain amount. And so that's how I'm gonna learn how to do that. I'm gonna use that as like the small platform to teach myself that kind of a stuff. And then once after the subathon I'll try to use what I've learned from that to integrate it into this app.
An underscore court cheered Dex 163
You're
to
welcome.
take the hoodie off. You're welcome.
Thank you, Navy. Thank you. Am I familiar with coding? I am not familiar with coding at all. I don't know how to do any coding. Essentially, what I know how to do is to look at someone else's code, like from GitHub, and be like, I can copy paste things and put them together like Frankenstein code and make it work. Ha ha ha. And that's what I do. Hey, Iba. Hey, Iba. Right. You know how to program in C#. Right, Iba? Right? No, I need to learn how to do it myself. I need to learn how to do it myself! It's so I forgot that Iba also was there. Yeah, I have 2 moderators in chat that know how to code in C#. I can't. I have to learn. Can't rely. Yeah, but Mumbles, you don't do C#. Like, I know coding is coding, right? But like, what I do know is that someone who's familiar with C#, they can just know how to do something right away. However, if you're not familiar with C# and you're familiar with C++ as an example, like, there will be errors. And like, you'll know how to fix it after a couple iterations. But like, to me, that's like, if I'm asking someone who doesn't know how to code C#, but they know how to code in like C++, getting them to code in C#, they probably won't mind doing it, but it's more hassle and it makes me feel bad for them, because like, I'm hassling them more instead of something that should have taken like X amount of time. I'm like stealing more of their time, if that makes sense. Because Unity uses C#, that's why. Yeah, but I'm only using C# because C# is the language of my engine. This is all C#. A paid learning experience. Oh look, Iba, there's you in the background. There's you being AFK and me sticking brushes in you. You remember that? Remember that, Iba? Remember? You need to fix this. You need to fix the Minecraft server stop script. Isn't the AWS server, like, since it's on 24/7, isn't it costing like a buttload of money? Isn't it? because it's on all the time now, right? But it's costing so much money, Aiba. What do we do? I don't know what to do, Aiba. Hi, Silver. Actually, if you, here's the thing. Some of those models on that website are fake and some of them are real. Some of them are real and some of them are fake. So, and basically if you read like, well, basically I would say like if you like paid attention to the tweet, you'd realize that like my model is not actually, the model that they ripped from me is essentially worthless because it's nothing. But it doesn't change the fact that VRChat itself, like it's very easy to steal models. Just because that one site that has ripped models on them could have some non-fake listings, or even if the entire thing was fake, it doesn't matter. Because that doesn't change that models are super easy to take in VRChat. Doesn't change anything. And you could be like, oh, Fofa, well, I have a private model that I've never even used in VRChat. Someone can still take it if they want to. Oh, Silverwolf, thanks for the sub. Navy, thanks for gifting us up to Silver. Thank you, Navy. But yeah, it doesn't change that. So essentially, you don't even need, okay, so basically, if you don't have a hacked client, which you shouldn't be using a hacked client because it can get you banned from VRChat, but just with a regular client, all you need to do is just be in a world with someone and you instantly have their model. That's the simplest way to do it. However, if you, if you know how to do things right, you can just directly access the VRChat directory and just have access to every single thing that's been uploaded by anyone. Because like, if you think about it, all your models are being uploaded to a server, right? That server is public. It's not really encrypted that well. You can access it. It's kind of like how Twitch right now, right? You can go and watch deleted VODs. It's all publicly available. Like right now on twitch.tv, if you go to Dr. Disrespect's Twitch page, it says deleted. It doesn't exist. However, all of his past VODs, deleted and undeleted, still exist on twitch.tv. And if you Google it, you can find it. It's the same thing. So it's the same thing in VRChat. It's all hosted in a directory. And if with someone with the right know-how knows how to access it. So that was the main point of that post, was to basically, a lot of people aren't 100% aware of like how everything works. And a lot of people think just having your model set to private is enough. Or some people think having your model private and only using it in private worlds is enough. No. Having your model on VRChat itself is basically all it takes. Yeah. So like, to give you an example, on that website, I know how it works. Like I know how to, I know how like the other way of directly accessing the directory. I know how to do that. I know how it works. Because I had to, I had one of my models ripped before, and like I had to teach myself like, okay, how can I prevent this? So the best way to learn how to prevent it is to learn how to do it. So I never personally did it, but I researched how to do it. And then I went, oh, it's impossible. It's impossible. Okay, great. And an example is on that site, if you know what site it is, that I posted a thumbnail of that had like my fake model on there from my account, is some of the other models that are from my account there, I have not worn. I've never used. Yeah. Exactly, Jarno. That I think they're called white hat hackers. But like, to be honest, like, calling people who like rip models from VR chat hackers is kind of like the same as calling like someone who's an expert at laser tag like a tactical black ops like Navy SEAL. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think like when everyone thinks of like a hacker, right? They picture someone with like in a dark room, like wearing a hoodie with the hood on and like a million monitors in front of them and like all this like numbers flying all over the place and like all these windows popping up. When in reality, like I'm guessing like like from my understanding, hacking is literally just like opening a command prompt like DOS like window and then just like typing. And like a lot of movies and TV try to make hacking like exciting with all these like fun and fancy graphics when it's literally just like just sitting there and be like typing. No, the model that was ripped is literally the soles of my feet. That's it. That's all it is. It's not even my feet, it's the soles of the boots. Untextured. But yeah. So essentially, like, there's nothing that's hack proof other than like having something that's completely off the grid. That's like the only way to be like having the highest plausibility of not being hacked is essentially be in the middle of nowhere, underground, in a Faraday cage. with no wired connection to the outside world. Then boom, you're moderately hack proof. But what do I say by moderately hack proof is because someone could just like literally come to your location, dig it up, and they'll like break through the Faraday cage, and then they can just like direct access your computers, and then they can hack it that way. Temple OS. Oh, hey. But like I've already talked about this before, but essentially it's the password lock system. So there is a password lock avatar out there that like just changes like a thing with an expression. That one does not actually protect your model. Essentially, it only protects your model from force cloning, meaning that like if you don't enter a password, it'll just show up as a lock icon instead. But if someone were to download that, the only thing they can do, they could just delete that component, boom, they have the model. So I've talked about it before. The solution is just to make it as difficult as possible. So just have a blend shape sequence that you have to set in order to have your model as normal. And like someone could download and like steal that model, but the amount of effort they would have to go through to make that model normal again exceeds probably their attention span. But yeah, forced cloning means that in VR, we're talking about VR chat, when someone sees your model, even if you have avatar cloning off, or if it's a private model, if they have a client, they can just basically like clone the model anyway and then become your model. What is Amazon Blacksmith? So Amazon Blacksmith, you see it right there. That's a list of things that I recommend. And if you are interested in buying any of those things, essentially I get a small Amazon affiliate kickback. So like if you spend, like let's say for example, I recommend getting a leap motion. If you want a leap motion, if you use my link, I get a couple pennies. Yay. But yeah, essentially right now, how I'm dealing with the whole VR chat situation is just not having my model on VR chat. Like that's what I do. I don't see the point right now in putting extra effort into basically making my model harder to use when, do you know what I mean? Ah. Yeah, I know it's not seamless. I just did it. I just did that. I just did that like right before stream. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna do this. I did it by hand and not by entering numbers. So that's just me. That's just me moving my mouse. If you need a new GPU, Navy, right now is not a good time to buy a new GPU. You should wait. If you need a new CPU cooler, what case do you have? That would be a very important thing to know, Navy. What case do you have? Because essentially, often... Okay, actually, you know what? Navy, no matter what, just get a Noctua cooler. That's my recommendation. Go Noctua. Like, you don't need to look it up, Navy. Just get Noctua. That's the only coolers that you'll need. Just Noctua. It's a lot of money, but they're the best. It's the best of the best. If you have a Noctua cooler, odds are 5 years from now, you're still going to use the Noctua cooler. I would upgrade it to be a 3090, but like there's no point in upgrading the graphics card recommendation right now. You know, considering you can't buy graphics cards for a reasonable price. They're ridiculous.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Super Nintendo.
It's a Lian Lee, but what Lian Lee?
I'm learning.
Adam, thanks for the host. Yeah, essentially, like, here's the thing. Do not buy all-in-one coolers unless you need it for space requirements. So for example, if you have very low CPU clearance, right? And you need really high performance cooling, then unfortunately, probably the only thing you can get is an all-in-one cooler. However, if you have the space for a tower cooler, get a tower cooler. Because a Noctua, Noctua D15 versus, let's say, a Corsair 240 millimeter all-in-one cooler performs the same. So what I would do, Navy, is look at your case online. Look at your case online and look for CPU height clearance. And then just basically try to just fit the largest Noctua cooler that you can fit in there. So it starts at the D15, D14, U12, and then it goes below that. Noise reduction, Jarno. All-in-one coolers aren't less noisy. If anything, they're louder. Right? A tower cooler. A good tower cooler will either have 1 or 2 or possibly 3 fans, right? But like the Noctua ones, super quiet fans, really low noise, even at full speed. All-in-one cooler, you're gonna have the noise of the 2 fans or the 1 fan, and you're gonna have the noise of the pump. And the pump noise is more of like a high pitch noise that's harder to ignore, I guess. Yeah, if you could fit a D15, get a D15. It's great. It does. Pumps make a slight humming noise. They do. Trust me, they do. The F word, like the F word, like I don't want to deal with this problem, like that kind of F word. That one shouldn't be blocked. It will trigger the Nightbot, but there could be something else that you're using that's a blacklisted word. Because if you're not able to enter it at all, then you're probably using a blacklisted word. The other F word. There's only one other F word that I can think of, and that's not an F word that you should be using. Like, in no context is that appropriate to use. Yes, the D15 can be very overkill. Yes, it can be overkill. Whoa! Sphinx! Thanks for gifting a sub to Cross Keys. Thank you so much. Well, I mean, there was the Gordon Ramsay show called The F Word, which was food. So maybe he's talking about food. It also depends if you're overclocking it too, right? See, like, the thing that I see is that if you have a giant tower cooler, like, the only reason you go overkill with your cooling is because you want it to be silent. So if you set a fan curve on your overkill CPU cooler, that means like that you can have like it is possible to have it so that the fans barely spin at all, right? Because like the D15 is such a big cooler that it's on super low powered computers. It can pass as a passive cooler on its own. Yeah, so in terms of silence, like I chose to have a super silent computer. If you hear fan noise right now, that's not from my computer, that's from an actual fan blowing cold air into my room. I like having silent computers, so I would rather not overclock my computer unless I absolutely had to. However, I moved from one to the other. Generally, I just do a reinstall if I have to change to a new SSD. In theory, you could use the cloning software that comes with the Crucial M500 SSD that I've recommended. It does come with cloning software. So I've never done it myself, because I think the cloning software is more or less meant to be used from hard drive to SSD, but I would imagine you can use it from SSD to SSD. Furry. Like to be honest, I've been using the same license for Windows since Windows Vista came out. I've been using that same license. Like, I haven't had to buy a new Windows license since Windows Vista. But yeah, because basically what happened is I had Windows Vista, and there was like a student promotion at the time where I could just pay like $30 to have it upgraded to a full version of Windows 7 Professional. So I was like, okay, sure. So then I had Windows 7 Professional, and then what happened? Windows 10 came out later, and I'm like, you can upgrade it for free. So I was like, okay, great. Now I have Windows 10 Pro. Awesome. Why would you buy a new license? Because like, I get you don't need to have a Windows license in order to like maintain updates. The only thing you get is like that little watermark on the bottom. Personally, I just like not having that watermark. And in terms of the home version versus the pro version, there's not a lot of differences. I think a lot of the differences come in terms of hosting virtual machines. And being able to indefinitely postpone updates. Because like I've never had the issue where like, because like, you know, Windows 10, how it forces you, if you're on the home version, to update. Like it'll nag you, and it'll come to a point where you can no longer delay it anymore. Whereas like on Windows 10 Pro, I can just indefinitely delay it. Yeah, I actually use the remote management stuff. Like I used to use a lot of I actually used like a lot of the remote management stuff because I would like when I was working as a teacher and I had to work on those poopy computers that were like Intel i3 2100, like 1 gigabyte of RAM, Windows 10. I would be like, I'm just gonna remote connect to my computer at home so I can actually use a fast computer. And then, oh, Mazinga, thank you for the 6 months. And then like, I think the reason why I had to use hypervisor was because I wanted to enable GPU acceleration over remote networking. And so like I was reading how to do it and it said something about enabling hypervisor. I don't remember all the steps, but I remember having to enable that. And then basically like I could game. Like this was before like the Steam in-home streaming thing was like really a big thing. Pro is 90 days. Yeah, I've never actually like tried to delay it that long because essentially like if I'm working on something in Blender or Unity, I just don't want to restart it and I don't want to have to close it depending on like how far I'm into it. Because sometimes if I save and close, I won't come back to it for days. Whereas if I keep it open, whenever I sit back on my computer, I'll eventually get back to it faster. Hi, Pew. What keeps me motivated to do more? Okay. Basically, what keeps me motivated is just me being interested in stuff, which is not a good thing because as soon as I become not interested, it's hard. So let me tell you something about YouTube. And I guess it's the same with content creation too, is that essentially like there's that drive, right? Because you see a goal like becoming a partner, becoming an affiliate, and on YouTube becoming a partner on YouTube, which is a lot harder than becoming an affiliate on Twitch. Once you get there, like you're pushing, you have the drive, and then you get there, and then suddenly it becomes tedious, and you're like, ah. Do you know what I mean? Like I have all these ideas of videos that I want to do on YouTube, but like, I don't want to edit them. I don't want to film them. I just want like what's in my head to just magically appear on YouTube, and that'll be that. And like, and the thing is like on Twitch too, like I've noticed that I've become a little bit too complacent with, and I basically like a part of the issue too is like, I remember I was watching Twin's birthday stream and Twin was like, what does Fofa's bottom half look like? She didn't know. Because I'm just like, oh my gosh, have I been sitting for that long? So like, that's why I'm standing again. It's because like, this is like the only way that I can be more expressive, because when I'm speaking normally, I'm a very expressive person, like with my body language, and like you don't really get that when I'm sitting down. And in essence, I became complacent with just sitting down and, I don't know, just doing whatever. Yeah, on YouTube. On YouTube, my goal is 100,000 subs. I know that just doing what I'm doing, I'll eventually get there. Like, it's inevitable. However, I need to do something to get there faster. So that's why I'm working on this other project on the side. That's gonna be super cool, I hope. And I know since it's gonna be a brand new channel on YouTube, it's gonna be really hard to grow from nothing. And it's gonna be really discouraging to start off with. That's like a thigh band. On YouTube, on my main channel, it's just like a lot of tutorial stuff. I don't know, like in terms of like VTuber channels that give tutorials on being a VTuber, I guess. Like my goal for my YouTube channel is basically be the Harris Heller for VTubers. Kind of, I guess, something like that. I would say like I'm maybe like one of the top 10 out there. Like I wanted to say top 3, but I know there's probably channels that I don't know of that are much larger than me that I just haven't found yet. So I'm like, I think I'm in the top 10, maybe, but then again, I'm also in like my own enclosed bubble, right? So I have no way of actually knowing. Cause like I know there's much bigger ones, people out there who do similar content. Like there's Fia, there's Sapphire, there's Suvi. I can't think of anyone else on the top of my head, but I know there's other people. I would just choose to not respond to it. You don't have to respond to anything that someone says to you. Sometimes walking away or not responding can be the best response. That tutorial is so bad though, because it's not really a tutorial. It's just like, here are some tips that you can use to do it yourself. But this tutorial is not aimed at people that actually know what they're doing, and this is not aimed at people who are brand new to Blender. I think like, I don't know. At one point, I think I'm gonna do like a whole class series on how to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like I think I'll have to do something like that. I'll have to film like how to do face tracking class, and like I'll have to provide like an example model to work from. Yeah, I think that's what I'll have to do. Like it'll have to be like a multi-part series that I don't think it would do very well. And that's the reason why I don't want to really do it, because I don't think the video would do well. And like, I think the amount of effort that I would have to put into that series would ultimately not do anything. Oh, and there's Argama Witch. I almost forgot about her. Take your favorite MMD model and rename the bones. What? Here. Oh. Here's your Zoom. Hi. We zoomed in. Hello. I'm still standing. I'm just crouching. Should I sit? It's like the normal stream now. We zoomed in. Yeah. I honestly like. I don't know. Right? I don't know. We're only gonna be sitting until I guess a sufficient amount of time passes from the Zoom, and then I'll stand back up. But yeah, AI Candy doesn't really have VTuber tutorials, right? Like, she has some, but like, her content is like more general YouTuber versus tutorial YouTuber, right? Like, just look at her channel. And like, that's the thing is like, I think YouTube channels, like, ultimately they're best done as like a category versus like having everything into one channel, because it can hurt your channel analytics that way. So like, as much as I want to do other content on my main channel, like, I don't think it would be the smartest move. Like, I know everyone would be like, oh, some people would be like, oh, well, I'll watch it anyway. But like, in essence, like, most people won't. And like how the Twitch algorithm works, like I can just see on the statistics how many people actually subscribe that are watching versus unsubscribed people. And like, that matters. Yeah, it does hurt the channel. Okay, we're gonna zoom back out. There we go. All good. Well, here's the thing, right? If you go to Linus Tech Tips channel, right? And then all of a sudden, like, let's say Linus is like really interested in gardening, and then all of a sudden he just starts posting gardening videos on Linus Tech Tips channel. Like, most people wouldn't want to watch the gardening things there because they go to Linus Tech for tech and not gardening. Buff pup style? Ah. Linus gardening tips? Well, the thing is, Iba, you just love the tips anyway. Just the tip. Sorry, I had to watch myself do that. Who doesn't love to have a nice tip? Oh my gosh. Ah! But yeah,
Gary.
I don't like depth of field. Right? I don't like it. I don't, whenever I'm in a video game, I always turn it off. Always. Because like, yes, we have our own sense of depth of field in reality. Like when you focus on something in front of you like this, everything in the background will be blurred out, right? But it's not nice to watch. So like, on top of adding extra overhead on my graphics card, I would prefer just everything being in focus. So basically, essentially, I have the camera set up in Unity to f16. So the aperture, the f-stop is 16, meaning everything's going to be in focus. Essentially, the camera setup in my Unity setup is set to be a 65 millimeter sensor size with... I can't remember what lens equivalent I'm using. and then I'm using the ISO set to 200 and f16. Because like, basically I'm in this world and I want it to look cool. And I have to add stuff to it. So like, hence why I've added this, because I wanted a way to feature my fan art. And then here's the thing, I get so okay, Mari just like from the freedom of their heart will just draw something because they want to, and something that it'll be like, if you notice one of the pictures there, wait, let me see, wait, where is it? This one right here, the line art right there, that's my profile picture. So essentially when Mari, they drew that for me, and they're like, here you go, Fofa. And I'm just like, oh, it's like, it's fan art. I'm like, can I pay you for this? Because like, that's what happens sometimes. I'm like, can I pay you for this? What am I using for tracking? Vive trackers. And if you want to know how this application works, check out my YouTube channel. !YouTube, it'll take you to my channel. Look for DIY VTuber app. And then if you follow that video, it'll give you the foundation that you need to start using your own application. It's just you might not be full body tracked. But hey, we hit 15K. Wow. Yay. Wait, what do you mean? Are you worried? What do you mean camera tracking on a headset? I don't understand. in essence, like, the future goal is to not be covered in a bunch of trackers. It's just to have a motion capture suit. Like, that is the future. Right? That way I can just do whatever I want. I can go lay it down on the ground and roll around. I can, well, I guess I couldn't roll around because still I'll have the head mount on my head. Face tracking? What do you mean? Like, right? Well, the thing is, like, VR headsets will have face tracking, and I currently have face tracking. Like, right now, I have face tracking. See? Exercise stream? I could. It would definitely be a lot easier to do exercise when I'm not covered in a bunch of wires. That's for sure. I'm not wearing a headset. When I say headset or head mount, I have a mount for my iPhone on my head. Essentially, I have an iPhone mounted to my face. That's what I mean. So I'm tactically not actually using VR. I've actually done motion games before. So I've done Wii Sports, well, in VR chat. And like how I would do that, I would have an OVR window in front of me of from my capture card showing Wii Sports. And then I would use the green screen option in VR chat to have my model overlaid on top of Wii Sports. I've already done that. People like thought the novelty was fun of it for a bit, and they got over it. Yes, you can ask. However, if it's too complicated to talk about on stream, or if it's something that I think would be better suited to, I might answer it depending on. I might end up pointing you somewhere else, like let's say YouTube, my Discord server, or yeah, I could try. Yes, I did update the visual style. I wanted to make it more anime. Because essentially the shader that I'm using was the shader that I used to use in VR chat all the time. And then like, when I was in a specific world that had real-time lighting, I was just like, whoa, this looks super good. And like, I want my model to look like this outside of VR chat. And so I initially went with like, the shaders that you saw before that kind of made me look plasticky, I guess. And like it looked cool, but like it's not really what I wanted. So I kept experimenting with this shader and the lighting to get it to work the way I wanted. And eventually I came on this. Fix it to be clear. You have to increase the render texture resolution. That's how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you click on the render texture in your asset files, and in the inspector, you're gonna have a resolution there. So you're gonna have to change the resolution there to be higher. Yeah, how I did the world is that actually the objects in the world actually have outlines, whereas I don't have outlines. Because I didn't want to do outlines on my model. Hi, Ultra Instinct. No, you're welcome. And they instantly unfollow. I don't know, like, okay, so here's the thing. Like, I used to read out follows all the time, and sometimes I do, but for the most part, I don't, because, do you know what I mean? Then my entire stream is just gonna be like, thanks for the follow, thanks for the follow. Except when you see someone in chat that's just like, I followed, you're welcome. Be thankful. I graced you with me turning on a notification so that when you go live, I might watch you. You're welcome. Like, it's only like, I've seen that it happens more with small streamers, right? Like with small streamers, I've seen that happen so much. Like the streamer is like obviously busy doing something, right? And they haven't checked chat yet. And then it's like someone would be like, hi, I followed, hi. Well, you're welcome. Hello? Terrible streamer. And like all this would happen in like 1 minute. And then like they turn their head and check chat and they're like, what the is happening? Oh, hi, Angst. Hello. Thank you. Yeah. It's like that a lot with small streams. Or the thing is too, it's like there's some people come to like some streams, right? And they just expect it to be popping all the time, right? Like there's someone I know, a fellow streamer, fellow VTuber who normally streams to like 500, and like our chats are like the same amount of activity because like they just have a lot of lurkers. And like, I also have a lot of lurkers, and they're just like, a lot of people like, wow, there's like 500 people here and like barely anyone chatting. Gosh. And it's just like, get over yourself. Yeah, like I lurk a lot. Even if someone calls me out, it's very rare that I'll actually come out of lurking. I think the only person that usually gets me out of lurking is probably Spats. And like that's the only stream that I lurk in. If I'm called out, I'll usually just like appear. Even if I'm sitting there, somebody will be like, thanks for the gift sub. To Poopy Diapers or something. It's like, Fofamid, thanks for the gift sub to Poopy Diapers. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there, I'm just like, what? How did they know? How did they know? I'm not gonna say anything, I'm just gonna keep working. Yeah, viewers that are on a TV, they do count as views. Also views... Oh, high five? Yujo, when a single viewer after a minute legit went, wow. Wow. I love that. I love people sometimes. I love it. Whoa, Synchrich! Thank you for gifting a sub to Poopy Diaper. Thanks for giving a sub to Poopy Diaper. Thanks. I don't know. Like, I do know for a fact there are people out there who only watch small streamers because like they need that attention. And I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, right? Because like, you do you. What is wrong is those people will sometimes come to like the streams that got big, right? Like now that you're streaming to like, I don't know, 100 people, they're like, oh, your streams are too big for me now, I'm not gonna come anymore. And I just like, why are you telling me this? Right? Isn't that awful? Like, I'm fine if you're not, like, if you think, you know, the stream's too big, it's too crowded now, and you don't want to come anymore, that's fine. But like, don't come into stream and just say that to them, like right to their face. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the same as going to your, being invited to your friend's party. You go to your friend's party and you're just like, oh, I don't like the way your water tastes since you added that new Brita filter, so I'm gonna leave, goodbye. It's like, oh, you didn't buy wheat bread for our sandwiches? I'm gonna leave, goodbye. Hi, iFool! Hello! Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I understand, like, I'm like, to be clear, I'm saying I'm fine with people like not being comfortable and choosing to not watch anymore because it's too big. But like, don't put the streamer down for that. You're basically being like, hey, you know that thing that you're really proud of? Let me take a dump on it. Just pull down my pants, squat, and just take a giant steaming I'm doing well, iFool. Yeah, that's what that is though, right? Because here's the thing. Anyone out there who streams, if you stream, right, as much as you try to not care about your view count, as much as you try to not be conscious of it, not let it affect you, it does. You look at it and it affects how you view yourself and your self-worth. Because like, if you're normally used to streaming to, let's say, 40 people, and then one time you stream till like the next day you stream, and then for whatever reason you're only streaming to 10 people, that hits home. It affects you. And then when people come in and basically like if you worked so hard to get to like, let's say an average of whatever viewership that you're at, and then they tell you that you should be, basically they say like, I'm not watching you anymore because of the thing that you're like, you worked so hard for. It's like, do you know what I mean? That's the comparison that I'm making. Just like, just don't say it. You don't have to say anything. Just like, do you know what I mean? Just paste the same message 5 times. Yeah, that's fine, iFool. I mean, like, honestly, I'm not gonna like be like, oh, you haven't been here for 1 week. How dare you? No, you have a life. You're a human being. Like, you know, that makes sense. And on top of that too, right? If you normally watch me and then all of a sudden you find a new streamer that streams at the same time as me and you prefer to watch their stream, watch their stream. It doesn't matter. Like, it's your choice, right? Like, I'm not gonna blame you for preferring someone else's stream, right? The burden is on me. Like, but here's the key difference in that scenario, right? If you, the viewer, prefer watching someone else and you leave to watch someone else, that's fine. Just do it, right? Don't feel guilty. And essentially, the burden is on me to realize, hey, my viewership is dropping. Maybe I need to improve my content or whatever I do. However, if you're in the stream and you're just like, oh my gosh, X streamer is on. I'm gonna go watch X streamer now. Goodbye, stream. Your stream is boring. I'm gonna watch this person now. Like, don't do that. Here's the thing. Right now I'm not being very great at keeping up with chat because it's not moving that fast. So like I'm not keeping my eye on it all the time. But essentially if the chat gets faster and faster, it's gonna change from me like looking at probably changing my setup like IRL to make it so that I can read chat faster, because like I prefer not to have slow mode unless I absolutely need it. And like there hasn't been a point where I actually needed slow mode. Yeah, to be honest, like when I go to leave, let's say if I'm watching someone and I leave to go watch another stream that I've been chatting in there, I'll just say, oh, I gotta go, bye. And that's what I do. I go. And then I, like, let's say if I watch, and then I go watch someone else. Like, I don't say, I'm gonna go watch another stream because you're boring me. Or like, I'm gonna go watch another stream because they're doing something more interesting than you. Do you like, you don't do that. That's like being invited over to your friends for dinner and then bringing in fast food is like, oh yeah, well, I didn't want your home cooked meal, so I just brought McDonald's. Hope you don't mind. Oh, and can you clean up my garbage? Thanks. Another thing that I noticed that like unless you have a pre-established relationship with that streamer, if you're leaving to stream, don't say it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't do that. When I'm in someone else's stream, like they might know that I'm leaving to stream, But I don't say that I'm leaving the stream. I just go, oh, I gotta go now. See you later. Like, that's what I do. But like, some people will go in other people's stream and be like, oh, legit, I saw someone, like, because I just followed, like, I was spying on them because I was curious, because I got suspicious because they kept doing it like over and over and over again. Like, that's the only thing they said in my stream at the time. So I just kind of watched what they did. And I noticed that like they were in a bunch of streams and they had them all, it's like they had a bunch of streams open at the same time. And they'd be like, oh, they would be like, hey. And then like a couple minutes later, it's like, okay, well, I gotta go stream Minecraft now, bye. And like they would do that in like 5 different streams at the same time. Don't do that. Because like if like the best case scenario, someone's gonna see you and they're gonna click out of curiosity because they're like, who has the gall to do that in someone else's stream, right? Oh, follow for follow? No, don't do follow for follow. Like, don't. Oh, speaking of which. Oh. Like, to be honest, here's the thing, like, as whoa, thanks for gifting us up to Angst. Thank you, iFool. What was I gonna say? Okay, so when it comes down to like rating etiquette, like you shouldn't, like, for the viewers, you shouldn't just raid, you know, a random, right? You should be essentially, think about it like handing someone off, right? You're introducing a friend, right? So just imagine like you're my friend, right? Like just imagine you're my friend, right? And we're walking and we're hanging out, and then I'm like, my intention is to introduce you to someone. But imagine if I just go be like, oh, hey, there's that random stranger on the street. Hey, what's your name? Oh, your name's Bob? Oh, okay. Okay, hey, friend, meet Bob, bye. And like, that's what it's like when you raid a random. Don't raid randoms. Like, essentially the best way to do raids is to know who you're raiding or follow them beforehand and like watch a bit of their stream to like get an idea of who you're raiding, right? So like, I know a lot of people do this. They find someone random, but then they will look at what they're doing. They'll watch them during stream, like they'll have them open another tab or something, and they'll like be doing a sneaky peek. That's fine. But like, what it should be is like, you should be introducing someone that you know. So you'd be like, oh, hey, this is my friend Bob. You know, they're super interested in art and like role-playing games, and they have like this cool thing that they do when people follow or do subscriptions. Like, and like they do a lot of things for charity and different events. Like, seriously, you should check them out. Like, here, I'm introducing you to them. Like, that's what a raid should be like. And like, why am I mentioning this is because essentially, like, that's sometimes when I'm not streaming, I'll just be browsing Twitch just to look for other people that are interesting, so that when I end my stream, I can raid them or to hand them off, or people that I just am in general interested in. And for the most part, there's like a super lazy way to do this. Is if someone has a partner badge, for the most part, like they've gone through all the things that's like needed to get to that point. You know, unless you're on like a Twitch esports team, then you just get one anyway. But like, do you know what I mean? So like for the most part, like if you have your badge on, I will check you out. Just cause like I'm curious. And then like essentially what I do is like my follow list is just people that I'm interested in or we're curious about. And then some point I will, like if I'm online and I'm not already like if I'm in the mood, I'll scroll through my follow list. I'm like, who's this person? Click and I'll follow and I'll see what's going on. Well, like, do you know what I mean though, right? It saves that work for you, right? Because like there's only two ways to get a partner badge. One is to earn it, and the other way is to just be part, like, so for example, like you out there with no viewers, just if you just join an esports team, right? You get a partner badge. That's it. Simple as that. So like, I know someone out there that averages like, it doesn't matter what they average, but they're a small streamer, but they have a partner badge. I was so curious about it. And then I eventually just looked, and it's because they were part of an esports team before. And they used to be like an Overwatch streamer. So I was like, that makes sense. My mic. So like word on the street is okay. So for those of you out there who are fellow streamers and who are approaching the partner area, I heard that having the word partner push in your title is a no-no. And like it can affect your qualifications for becoming partner. Because there are actually viewers out there that they're like, I'm what you call a partner maker. If I see someone with partner push, I will watch them until they get partnered. And then as soon as they get partnered, I peace out. Yeah, there are people that do that. So if you're a streamer and you're approaching partner numbers, don't do a partner. Don't say partner push. Like I think you can mention that you're pushing for partner, but like don't like put it in your title. Yeah, that's the thing. I've seen some people who hit partner, then like as soon as they hit partner, like they were in like hundreds of viewers. And then as soon as they hit partner, they just like immediately crash down to 30, 40 viewers. Cause like all the people left. Cause they're like, oh, this person's partner now. We don't need to support them anymore. Bye. In all honesty, like, okay. So for those of you who used to watch Harris Heller on Twitch, Harris Heller moved to YouTube. And I'm like, oh, that's such a power play, right? He recently did a video talking about like the numbers difference. Okay, and here's the thing. One thing I noticed in his video is like he was averaging around like 800 to 1,000 viewers on Twitch. And like it said the average viewership, except for on YouTube. I don't know if it shows you your average viewership, but if you quickly like notice, I'm like, oh, he's using peak viewership. So his peak viewership on YouTube is 500 viewers, but we don't know his average. It's probably lower. And like, I do think Twitch's days are numbered. Unless Twitch does something to make Twitch more discoverable, which it's not. So I honestly think eventually Twitch is gonna die. Cause like, essentially like Twitch is like, Twitch is like Vine and Snapchat, if that makes sense, right? They were like one-hit wonders. They were good for one thing, and then other platforms picked up that their exact same stuff and they added it to their arsenal. And then everyone's just like, why use Snapchat when I can do the exact same thing on the other platforms I'm more familiar with? And that's what's gonna happen to Twitch. Hi, Watkins. How YouTube handles things? What do you mean? YouTube handles things just fine. Like, here's the thing. YouTube has better tools, better support, right? More control for the content creator, right? You know when you're breaking the rules because it's clearly outlined to you. If you get banned on YouTube, you know why you're getting banned on YouTube. Twitch, there's like zero tools, almost zero support, and zero discoverability, and most of the time you don't know why you're getting banned. Right, like think about like the Dr. Disrespect situation, right? Like we could say that, you know, Dr. Disrespect probably knows why they're banned. Because what they're saying is, they're saying that Twitch isn't telling them why they're banned. They probably know why they're banned. But the thing is though, is that if you were to get banned right now on Twitch, you probably won't know why. It's frustrating, right? Because like, imagine like your entire career is on Twitch. And all of a sudden Twitch is like, you're banned now. It's like, why was I banned? I'm not telling you. It's like, it's like, okay, well, how long is the ban for? 3 days, and then you come back and they're like, oh, you're banned now. It's like, why? Why am I banned? What am I doing wrong? It's like, oh, that's for you to figure out. Okay. YouTube's rules are crystal clear. Crystal clear. And if you think otherwise, I mean, like, I'm willing to put my gloves on and go toe to toe with you. The only thing that I can say is unfair is covering news. News is like a really iffy topic. But in essence, for general content creation outside of news, crystal clear. As they are stinky. They are stinky. I have to clean them still. Yeah, they're crystal clear. They're not fair from a certain perspective. However, those rules are there to protect the content creator. Just more often, those rules are abused by really large content creators. But that doesn't change anything. If you're a small streamer and you notice a giant channel has stolen your content, you can give them a DMCA strike. right? So like, for example, imagine there's like just to give you an example, imagine if PewDiePie, right? Like this wouldn't happen, but imagine if a channel like PewDiePie, like that size, were to just literally just rip one of my videos and then upload it and say it's their own content. I can DMCA strike them, right? That's what those tools are there to exist for. They're there to protect the content creator. And like, yes, those same tools can be abused by bigger companies that are out for like using them for malicious reasons. But the thing is, like, you have to have those tools out there to basically protect the small, but it also protects the large. It protects everyone. I would say, like, I've thought about streaming on YouTube. I've thought about switching to YouTube. I think right now is not the time. It's not the time. It is easy to make a false DMCA claim. Here's the thing though. If you were to make a false DMCA claim against me, right? I'll rebut it. And if you say no, I'll take you to court. Simple as that. You want to know why? Because I know I'm going to win. Because in essence, I know I'm not breaking any rules. Right? I'm willing to go there. Not a lot of people are, but I'm willing to go there. And so far, in terms of copyright, I have yet to have a claim that has, like, that I, like, basically they say, I'm DMCA, as like, I'm giving you a copyright claim, and I'm like, I reject it for these reasons, and always gets released. Every single time I've done that. You don't need a lawyer. You just need to go to, like, you know, you just need to file. It's like, what, like, it's like maybe like $100. Less than $100 to file, right? If you file, odds are, if it's a false DMCA claim, they're not gonna go that far and you'll just win by default. It's just paperwork. You don't even, like, honestly, for a false DMCA claim, right? Like, here's the thing. If you get a DMCA claim, they can't just make a general claim on your entire video. They have to specifically highlight what part of your video is infringing, right? They have to highlight what part of your video is infringing. And then essentially, I could be like, all I have to do is go to court and prove that they don't own that. And it's like, they don't own that. Because if it's a false DMCA claim, I'm like, you don't own this. Here's the proof you don't own this. Done. Simple. You'd like to see that? YTN Wesley. That's not realistic to think. Like, honestly, that's like, you're not thinking. I'm sorry to say that, but you're not thinking. As of May 2019, more than 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. That equates to approximately 30,000 hours of newly uploaded content per hour. In 2019, it's only gotten bigger. Now think about it. Now think about how many hours of content, how many DMCA claims, and whatever exists out there. It is impractical completely impractical to have a human being review or look at every single claim or rejection. Like, it's not possible. What do you mean, no way to moderate? What do you mean, no way to moderate? There's tons of way to moderate. Right? Tons of ways. If you're thinking they need to make it so that the copyright system is more complicated, so it's a lot harder for people to claim, right? Then basically you're saying YouTube should stop existing. Because the reason the copyright system on YouTube is the way it is basically to appease the music industry, because the music industry has big energy, right? They have a giant flopping, and they're not afraid to swing it around and hit children, hit adults, hit the elderly and the disabled. They don't care, because they're the music industry. They do whatever they want. As long as it's hitting their wallet, they will do it. So when they had their eyes set on YouTube, they're like, YouTube has a bunch of this copyright content being uploaded there. We're going to take them down. And YouTube's like, what if we did this? And they're like, that's not enough. That's why YouTube's copyright system and content ID system is the way it is. And that's the only reason why YouTube is still around as it is today. And here's the thing, when you upload your content to YouTube, it will scan your content to check for copyright infringement. It does that before you even have to upload it, right? And here's the thing too, is if someone makes a claim on your video, YouTube has tools for you to mute or edit that part out, right? Like, there's a tool that exists that you can just edit something out. And the thing is, you're only viewing that as the person on the receiving end, right? Now, imagine if the Viacom YouTube channel, like, I don't know if one exists, starts uploading your content or start taking snippets of like your music that you create, right? How would you feel, right? Those exact same tools that they can use against you, you can use against them. So if Viacom starts uploading snippets of your content, you just copyright claim them. Done. Give them to taste their own medicine, because that's you have that ability. It's fine if it's fair use. Correct. Fair use, though, is a very gray area. Very gray. And here's the thing. When it's in terms of fair use, you have to have transformative content, right? And let me tell you something. React content is not transformative. Like, I know a lot of people view it as transformative. In my eyes, React content, it's not transformative. It's not fair use, but a lot of people will say it's fair use. If you have like your little webcam like in the corner and you're just like watching the entire thing, like the entire thing, and then you're pausing every now and then, but you're still watching the entire thing, that is not transformative content. If you edit what you're reacting to down, so you have small snippets, and then you're reacting to it, that's transformative content. It can detect singing, correct. It can detect singing. It can detect humming. Oh, I'm glad that you held my YouTube channel helpful. But here's the thing. Live streams are a lot harder to detect than pre-uploaded content. Hence why, like, when you upload a video to YouTube, it takes time. Like, you can make it public right away, but like, you're not gonna be able to, like, if you're a partner, you're not gonna be able to make it monetized until the content ID is checked, right? They're gonna check it for it first to see if it matches anything. So, like, live streams just inherently take longer to detect copyright stuff. But it's not because the tools don't exist, it's just because they're not really being enforced that much. Streams have been taken down on YouTube for infringing on copyright. Streams on Twitch have actually, there have been some channels that had a live DMCA takedown and ended their stream. So like right now, if you're a content creator on Twitch, do not stream copyright music. But the thing is too is that YouTube has a visual match as well. So like, to give you an example, my Cowboy Bebop intro that I made, Cowboy Bebop inspired intro, it was like it's so good that YouTube matches it with Bandai Corporation like paid content for Cowboy Bebop. And like, I had to file, I'll be like, hey, this is fair use. This is an inspired piece that I made myself with an original score. Like, it's because it was just a visual match. And like I said before, Bandai whitelisted my channel because like after enough of the, they issued the copyright claim a couple times. And then after enough times where I said, you know, hey, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, like, hey, I made this, blah, 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 blah. They just whitelisted my channel because I stopped getting those notices. Yeah, like as I said, like a lot of, I did say like a lot of React content is not transformative. And like, I know right now on Twitch, there's like a huge following of people that will literally just be like, it's time to eat. So I'm gonna eat a snack. And then while I'm eating, like, let's watch some food YouTubers. I don't know. I don't like that personally. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine if you were that YouTuber, right? Like, essentially, like, you're kind of, I don't know, the argument is there, like, the people on Twitch would have never found out about that channel to begin with. So, like that's exposing them to viewers that probably would have never found that video in the first place. But the other side of the argument, right, is like, they're not transforming the content and they're just stealing the content. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a weird area to exist. And like, ultimately, like, that content that's being used on Twitch, when people do that, it's not fair use. However, it is up to the content creator on YouTube to make that decision. So if that YouTuber finds out that like a Twitch streamer is consistently watching their videos on their stream, if they message the streamer and be like, hey, can you stop? Then like, as the Twitch streamer, you should stop. Right? It's not fair use. what the situation I described, it is not fair use, right? Imagine I'm just sitting there like this, I'm just eating, and we're just watching a YouTube video about making food. How is that fair use? Explain to me. How am I transforming that content? Me sitting there chewing and eating my food while the video is playing, it's not fair use, it's not transformative. It's like not even a tough call. So like, put it this way. I think at the very least, if you're just like, you know, if you're one of those like fair use, like no matter what, it's on the internet, it's free, adopt the stance that one of the biggest streamers on Twitch has, Asmongold. Asmongold basically goes, if it's behind a paywall, do not stream it on Twitch, because that's like a big no-no. If it's publicly available, like on YouTube, he goes like, yes, I'll watch that. However, if that YouTuber ever messages them to say, hey, stop streaming my thing, he will respect those wishes. Right? That's like the bare minimum stance that you should take. The bare minimum. How is that the same? It's not the same. It's not transformative. You can't, like, it's Dreadnought, you're basically saying I'm paying you in exposure. That's like, that's on the same level. Your argument is the same as me going up to an artist and be like, hey artist, and normally you charge money for your art, but you know, I'm a streamer with this many viewers. Can you just give it to me for free and then I'll like shout you out? You're gonna get a lot of exposure that you normally wouldn't get. That's the same thing. It's really not great to think of it that way. Like, Dreadnought, that's what you're arguing for right now. Because we're not talking about meme views. I was talking specifically about food views. Like, memes, I don't know. Like memes are memes. Sure. Like, I'm not gonna touch that. But I was talking specifically about people, like, they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna eat dinner, and then while we're eating dinner, we're gonna watch someone's food YouTube channel. That's not the same as memes. But like, why? Why talk about that? Right? It's like, basically, it's just like how I'm saying is like, well, like, I can't really eat fruit right now because I have a stomach thing. And you're just like, yeah, but what about this? It's like, what about popsicle flavored fruit? I'm like, we're not talking about popsicles. We're talking about like raw fresh fruit. Yeah, but I'm talking about popsicles. Okay, let me give you a non-food example. As an example, Internet Historian, right? A lot of people will watch Internet Historian, used to watch Internet Historian on Twitch, right? Okay, let me preface this by saying Internet Historian has said, I'm fine. You can watch this on my YouTube channel. I don't care. That's basically his view on that. But like, if the Internet Historian said, I don't want you to view this, like, I don't want you to watch that on my stream. Basically, if you're just sitting there and you're just watching it, because a lot of people who watch Internet Historian on their stream with their viewers, all they did is just they just like were watching it on their screen with their gaping mouths and be like, ah, and like that's not transformative content. Like, I don't know how I can like more clearly explain that, right? Like the whole thing about exposure, if the original creator doesn't want that exposure, like that's their choice. Here's the thing though, you're not paying them in exposure. Like, you know what I mean? It's the exact same thing as art. Making a YouTube video is art, whether it's good or it's bad. It could be as simple as like, you know, that one video of like, you know, it's a pine tree because of the way it is, and then like goes around exploring, versus like, you know, 10 hours of flashing colors versus like someone's actual like hard-earned like short film, indie short film. It's all art. And like yes, you can put that on the same level as someone's drawing. So like, yes, making that analogy of someone saying, hey, can I use your thing? Can you do this for me? And like, I'll pay you with like a shout out. It's the same. It's the same. Yeah, you're offering exposure. Here's the thing though, right? Like, you like, if they say no, you have no right to be offended. If they say no. And like, I think as a big content creator, by using the exposure card to someone who's much smaller than you is kind of scummy. Like, if you're a big content creator, you should have the money to pay for things properly. Versus, you know, trying to like, I guess, cheat a smaller creator out there out of like free content, right? Yeah, but here's the thing. Some people are fine taking the exposure cred. Some people are fine with that. And like, that's their choice. That's the key thing. It's their choice. If they want to pay out for exposure, that's fine. But here's the thing is that if you're offering, you know, your exposure bucks and they're willing to accept the exposure bucks, you better have enough exposure bucks to make it worth their while. And like, essentially, like, this comes down to my exact thing. So this kind of rolls back around to this right here, the fan art. Right now, I'm showing the fan art, but like, I'm not making any money off of it, arguably, right? It's fine. I'm not using it in any monetized way. However, if I were to suddenly like take one of this fan art and like slap it on a t-shirt and start selling it without one, asking for their permission, or two, paying for it, that's not good. So I'll just straight up tell you, some of my merch used to be fan art. And what I did was like, I like the fan art so much, I'm just like, I want to use this for something. So I would message them as like, hey, can I buy this? Can I pay you for this so I can use it commercially? And sometimes they'll say no. And I'll be like, no, I'm not. It's like, they'll say, just use it. And personally, my view is like, if they refuse to take payment, I won't use it. Because like in my eyes, like I should pay artists for their work, especially if I'm going to be using it commercially. So like some of the fan art that I have out there that I'm using for my own content now, you know, like I paid for it and that's fine. Like this emote. No, but here's the thing. If they, as long as they say you can use it, like if they make the fan art and they say, yeah, you can use it, like you don't have to pay me, technically you're in the right. You can do that. But I don't think you should. So for example, that emote was, you know, fan art that I turned into an emote. And then what happened, I contacted that person and I'll be like, hey, can I just buy a bunch of emotes from you? And that's what I did. Zoom! Here you go. Here's your Zoom. We'll do it this way. But hi. Hello. Hi. But yeah, oh, in the Zoom emote, actually, I paid for that one. That was a straight up commission from Yomi. So I saw that Yomi had a Zoom emote. I loved it so much. I'm like, oh, sorry, not Yomi. Teru. So I asked her, hey, can you make me one, please? Pay for your art, essentially. Oh, that comes down to another thing too. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out. Short zoom. Okay, this comes to another thing. Fan art contests. I really don't like how a lot of people handle that at all. But then again, like, you know, it's people are volunteering to do that. But like, I have seen it where people would have a fan art contest, right? And then with that, like, they'll just say like like this is the only thing they outline. They don't say anything else. They say like, hey, I'm doing a fan art contest. Submit your fan art here. Top 3 wins a cash prize, right? But then if that person picks the top 3, the other people win a cash prize. And then they turn around and every single submission they start using, like in their media and whatever, that's not good. Don't do that. But so many people do that. Oh, I changed the music. I didn't like it. I don't know, like the only way to handle that is like either clearly outline that all submissions can be used, or don't use any of the submissions except for the people who win the top 3, and you make sure that you outline that in the submission for your contest. But I've seen people do that. Big and small. Like, I would love to, like, I think everyone would love to have more fan art, but like, do you know what I mean? I don't want to like cheat people out of it. If that makes sense. It should just happen organically. kind of, I still can't, like I have to hold my arms in a certain way so it doesn't look like when I stand like this is me, just like my arms straight down. However, since I don't have elbow trackers, it's not tracking that properly, so I have to like rotate my arms like this. The only thing I've done is my arms are in the same position, but the only thing I'm doing right now is just rotating my hands. But like you see how it like completely changes the position of my arms like that? It would change if I had elbow trackers. You can, as long as it's outlined in like the submission form. Like you can. It just has to be outlined ahead of time. They have to, you can't change it after they submit it. I could, but I don't want to. It's fine. It's fine. Please bring pizza pronto. The only thing about like the wireless headphone setup that I'm using right now is that I can't hear the small noises. I need like a headphone amplifier, if that makes sense. But like, in Korea, basically the best portable headphone amplifiers are by Fio. They're so expensive in Korea. Like what should be $30 is like $100 here. Cause like right now it's so quiet. I can barely hear anything. Oh, please bring pizza pronto is a plosive test. So right now I'm using my SM7B without the foam cover. So basically this is what it's gonna be like. So right now you can hear the plosives. Please bring pizza pronto. See the plosives? Whereas if I put the foam on, please bring pizza pronto. No plosives. Hi, Squallops. Yeah. Korea has really high import tax, so that's why. So anything that's not made in Korea, in essence, has like, so like my headset, sorry, not my headset, my head mount had a 20% import tax. I had to pay 20% import tax on it. Yeah, it is a super, like, it sounds clearer, right? Because I'm not using the foam. Like, I like the way it sounds. It sounds clear and crisp. You're hungry. I have my dinner sitting in front of me this entire time because dinner arrived late and I didn't want to be late for stream. I'm literally, this entire time, I've been staring at my dinner. It's right there. Right there. I've been looking at it this entire time. My dinner is right there. Right there. Yeah, it is cold now. It was, it's chicken. I have a chicken dinner. Cause I was a winner, chicken dinner. I don't want to eat on stream. It's fine. Oh yeah, yeah. I'll get the food and let's pull up a YouTube channel and just watch. Yeah, just imagine if I did that like after that big spiel I made, how I'm so against it and how it's not transformative, and I'm just like, oh, I can eat on stream. Okay, let me sit down. Okay, let's find the YouTube channel to watch. Ha 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 ha. What do you mean my content is transformative? I have myself there eating, haha. I'm transforming the food into poop. That's what my body does best. Ha ha ha. Just go in the ASMR. That's fine. I can eat later. Like, oh, it's Sunday. It is Sunday though, right? Okay, hold on. Speaking of which, give me a sec. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Okay, I'm gonna wire my headphones in. Oh, I sound so much. Oh, it's like night and day difference of monitoring myself with directly wired in and not using the wireless transceiver. Holy smokes, I feel like I can actually hear things. Come on, turn off wireless transceiver. Oh, it's because it's plugged in. Come on, turn off. Please. There we go. And then I just gotta unplug it. It's the white cable. All right, it is Sunday night right now, and Sly does need to work in the morning, which means I can't make a long a long stream, unfortunately. So that means we need to find a place to go. I need to basically, okay, wait, let me try to remember. What did I need to do after stream? Right, I need to film a YouTube video. And then I need to clean my gloves. And then no, I can't film the YouTube video. I didn't do the work ahead of time. No! I didn't do the work ahead of time. I probably would never actually do real ASMR content because I don't like ASMR. I don't like it. Like I don't like it. Like I legit despise ASMR. Like I respect content creators that make it, but when I hear ASMR, it makes me feel bad. I don't like it. Okay, so we are going somewhere. Where can we go? Give me a sec. Bum, bum, bum. What? Okay, hold on a sec. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, what the heck is this person? Okay. So there's a content creator I follow. For every 1,500 bits or 3 subs, they have to put on another t-shirt. What? Oh my gosh, they're wearing like I don't even know how many t-shirts they're wearing right now. It looks like they're wearing, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like they're wearing 7 t-shirts. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Okay, anyways. I know where we can go. We're gonna visit a VTuber friend. Who is currently playing Dark Souls. Is it borderline TOS? Oh, I guess so, because it could be self-harm, right? The amount of t-shirts that you can end up having to wear to be dangerous is quite a bit. So I would imagine it's fine. Oh my gosh, what the heck is that? What the heck is that? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna make a custom raid message. So we're going to be raiding a friend of mine who is a fellow VTuber who currently is playing Dark Souls. Their streams are super entertaining, a little bit cursed at times, but you will have a good time. Just, hold on, let me get part of my raid message. Don't copy this yet. Just let me get parts of it like this. And then I'm going to delete that. Great. All right, so we're going to go this. All right. So please copy paste this message. This is our raid message. You do not need to be subscribed to use this raid message. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bopping our friend, Twin Tails, who is currently playing Dark Souls. And right now her model has human hands holding an N64 controller. Human hands holding an N64 controller. Yeah, and that's what's happening right now. Hold on, let me give you like a sneak peek of their stream. If you're moderately interested, see, you can see them right there. That's Twin. This is who we're gonna be raiding. It looks like they just started VR chat. Like I said, their streams are full of memes. You're gonna have a great time. There's lots of stuff to do. Great sense of humor, obviously from the human hands. So everyone, thank you so much for coming in, having a conversation, hanging out. And I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. And I'll see you in a couple days. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Oh, I didn't even type in. I need to type it in first. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong channel. No. There we go. Hey, everyone. Like, once again, thanks for hanging out. And have a great time in Twin Stream. Bye. Don't forget the raid message. This one. This one right here, human hands.
Can reduce footstep noise. Is that what I was doing? Fofa! Hello! Human hands, human hands, human hands, human hands. Hello!